Well, good morning. Good morning. This is Coffee with Carol, and today I want to talk about positive thinking. Do your current thoughts inspire you or worry you? Do you walk in purpose and on purpose with intention, or are you just out for a walk? And I really want us to think about our thoughts in a different way. The world gives us one way of focusing on our thoughts, and God has a completely different one. And I think that we have somehow we have gotten them a little bit twisted, a little bit construed. And so let's talk about that this morning. Let's talk about our thoughts, positive thoughts, and really what God says about that. All right. I think that we confuse faith with optimism. Positive thinking is something that we have all been told as Christians that we need to be thinking positive, that we need to be focused on the good things, focused on the right things, correct? We focus on that verse in Philippians 4:8, that tells us that we should be meditating and thinking on things that are pure, that are honorable, that are just, that are worthy of praise, that are commendable and excellent and lovely, right? And so we have taken that whole verse and we have sort of twisted it up and said it's all about positive thinking. But I think that positive thinking is not really what we think it is. Positive thinking is actually rooted in the human mind, and it reveals itself as pride in the way of focusing back on self and really focusing on our own confidence in accomplishing things. So let me explain. When you are stating or you're saying to somebody, think positive, what does that do? That tells you to focus on an outcome that you desire to have. So, you're in a difficult situation, you have a bill that just came in that is unexpected and you're not sure how you're going to pay it, or you've gotten some kind of bad news from the doctor, or there's just something that's not going well in your life. And the person that loves you says, let's think positive. And so we immediately start to think of outcomes that we want to have happen instead of things that we don't want to have happen. So we start to put things together and say, well, we're going to have enough money to pay this bill, or that we're going to get healthy, or things are going to go well, and everything's going to work out, right? We start to put that into practice. So that forces us really to go into self, because let's look at that. You get that unexpected bill, you're told to think positive, that everything is going to work out. So what do you start to say? I will have enough. I will see an increase, or I will be able to pay this bill. We immediately go to self, to our abilities, and to the outcome that we want. And see, that's not faith. But we mix it up because it's like think positive, have faith are kind of put together in the same sentence. Faith, however, forces us to think on God's promises, forces us to go directly to God with the situation. So it's tied to God and his promises instead of tied to self and an outcome. Because when we tie it to God, with faith, we don't know what the outcome is. We just trust that God will give us the best outcome for us. So I have to be honest here, because for years and years, I felt that verse, that Philippians 4:8, was all about positive thinking, that we had to think positive, be hopeful, and be encouraged. And I never stopped to really consider that positive thinking and affirming the positive was also creating my own desired outcome. And so I was really taking God out of the equation. Is that what you're doing too? Can you see how that is happening? When you look at Philippians 4:8 and you really read it, it says, whatever is true, whatever is pure, whatever is honorable, lovely, excellent, and worthy of praise. Is in the present tense. It's right now. It's what's happening right now. So we're supposed to be thinking right now in the present, positive thoughts on what is happening, not what will happen or what could happen, but rather be thankful for the moment. It's not positive thinking in the sense of putting an outcome on something. It's taking the moment and saying, God, you have given me this. You are taking care of this. This is awesome. This is excellent. You are worthy of praise. This situation is worthy of praise. It's taking the moment and being thankful for it. It's the present tense. Having faith is really going into a place of unknown. Having faith means that you're willing to step into the darkness and not know what the outcome is going to be. So when you actually are walking in faith, you're going to God with your problem. So, God, I have this huge bill. I don't know how this is all going to work out, but I trust that you will give me the outcome that is best for me. Whether I have enough or whether I don't have enough or whatever it is, you're in control and you will not fail me. Because when you go to God first with every single thing, when you make him that priority in every single situation and you go to him in faith, you're also tapping into all of his promises. So you're not going into self trying to think of all the what ifs and what could be's and the outcomes that you would like to have or that you think will happen, but rather you're trusting in God to give you and take care of the situation 100%. I'm going to start saying rather than saying think positive, I think I'm going to start saying think promises. How about you? God does the how and you do the do. Go out today and think promises.